My name is Linda Strader. I am a landscape architect and certified arborist these days in Green Valley. And in my former life, I was a wildland firefighter. So we are at Florida Station, which back in my day was Florida Ranger Station. And this area is near and dear to my heart. When I was 20 years old, I decided I wanted to be a firefighter, and I accepted a position here at Florida Center. And I remember the day that my supervisor brought me up to work and live here. We were driving up the road, and I'm looking around me, and I'm seeing these majestic oak trees and sycamores and a creek and all these beautiful buildings nestled into this canyon. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I just lucked out big time. I get to live and work in this place. I was just amazed at how gorgeous this place was. I knew the work was going to be hard, and I knew that I was going to be facing the biggest challenge. I thought just firefighting, but that wasn't the biggest challenge. I was the only woman, so I found out there was going to be another challenge. The men didn't want me here, so I had to figure out how to hold my own, both work-wise and social-wise, of where I stood with the crew, and I had to prove that, yeah, I belong here just as much as you do, and I did. Back in 1976 was my first summer as a firefighter, and our second fire call was out here in Box Canyon in the Santa Rita Mountains, and we got the call thinking that we would be able to drive to it with the tanker. So we came out here, a narrow winding mountain road with 200-gallon tanker, and got to the site and realized we were going to have to hike in. There's a lot of rock. We're stumbling over cactus and agaves. We're sticking our legs and making us bleed. I mean, it was really a tough hike up there. The fire was moving away from us while we were building line, and it turned around and came toward us. So the only escape route that we had was to run into the black, which is where the fire already burned, because obviously if the vegetation is already burned, it won't reburn there. So we ran into the black and waited, and then the fire went around us. But we were encased in smoke, choking smoke, and just lost track of each other there for a few seconds. So that was a little nerve-wracking, and I don't think I've ever run so fast in my life. A 3-foot tall clump of grass can have flames easily 8 to 10 feet tall. And when that's coming at you like a wall of flame, that's something to see, I'll tell you. I've almost been hit by slurry, which can kill you, and that stuff it's just water, but boy, when that stuff comes out of the bottom of the plane and you get the big slug of that on your head, and you can break your neck. Had that scare. I've been a little too close to a tree struck by lightning. That was pretty amazing, and to go back and find the tree in pieces everywhere, and it's just like, oh my goodness. So yeah, we've had some close calls, and everyone does, and I'll have to say that in the 7 years that I did this, I guess I'm really lucky that nobody was ever seriously injured or died around, none of my crewmates or anything, on fire. I completely destroyed my knees. And it was something that I didn't want to admit was happening to me. It was a very difficult decision, but I realized I just couldn't do this anymore. I've had an awful lot of surgery. I had to start my whole life all over again. It was tough, because I like my current career, but I really loved my job then. And when people would say, well, you're a woman, how in the world can you do this? And I tell them, well, I do. And even that felt good. It's like, I can do anything I want to do. it fed something in me that nothing else ever had. So, you know, I never was out to prove anything to anybody, not even to myself. I knew I could do it, and I just really enjoyed the satisfaction of a job well done and being outdoors. And, you know, I got paid to go hiking. I thought that was the most amazing thing. I get to pay, and I'd camp out. I got paid to go camping, you know, it was great. We were hot, tired, thirsty, hungry, sore, and yet you get up in the morning and say, oh, I'm gonna get another fire today. So, you know, you either love it or you hate it, and I loved it.